It flew away. No, mali. Okay. Kindly look at the screen. This is the main reason bakit we have class today. Primarily, we don't have much time left. So, nandito na tayo ngayon, Wednesday. Next week is a regular week. Then, at the week after that is pistakasan already. If hindi siya mamumove, malamang-lamang bangga lahat ng klase nyo dito except biochem or sa akin. So, tatapusin ko na dapat, parang pagsisigurado na ako, tatapusin ko na lahat ng coverage ngayon, ng midterms. Ang coverage lang ng midterms ng lab is tonicity, viscosity, and surface tension. By next week, quizzes na lang, pistakasan para sure na kahit anong mangyari, tapos na tayo. Then midterms. For our LEC, sa LEC tayo may problema kasi I think I still have 2 or 3 topics left. So, Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and ito siguro, ito ate grand opening ata ito. Grand opening at saka graduation. So malamang Wednesday ng pistakasan, baka magklase pa tayo ng LEC para mahabol natin ang midterms. Okay? Malaki yung naging problema nung nawalan tayo ng 3 araw ng klase kasi it's good as 1 week na umatras yung schedule. Ang dami pang events katulad ng graduation, white coat, which is parang kasama, manonood data kayo, and yung midterm exam. Umaga ka? Hindi, umaga. Di may mababangga pa rin, di ba? May klase kayo ng umaga. Ewan ko. Ito yung ito ay wala. Placeholder lang yung oras. Okay. So let's start with our lecture. We have 2 lectures lined up today. It's a bit mild. It's I want you to focus more on theoreticals this time. Kasi yung tinatanong sa boards usually is theoretical din naman. So our first topic, we would have our rheology. Rheology. Okay? Yung pong kailangan ng tumawid ng dagat, pwede na kayong umuwi, hindi na mag-check ng attendance, recorded naman yung lecture. Yung pwede ka na lumakad. Uwi ka na! Uwi na! Hindi yan ang una't huling beses na magkaklase kayo ng ganyan. At lalong hindi kayo ang una't huling makakaranas niyan. May nag-December 24 nga at saka ng January 31. December 31. Ganun talaga.
December 24, sir, mayroong nagkaklase?
Di magklase ka habang nagluluto. Okay.
Paano yung pamilya ng professor, sir?
Ganun din. Mas pinaprioritize niyang natuto kayo. Okay. So when we say rheology, it is primarily, it comes from the definition of rheo, which means flow, and logos, which is to study. So rheology is the study of flow. One key thing about rheology is we study how liquids behave in terms of movement. Okay? So if ever you're going to become an engineer, mag-shift na kayo, at kayo'y nag-hydrological engineering, this is one of the main things you will study, like rheology. Under rheology, the thing that concerns us is viscosity. So when we say viscosity, it is the resistance of a fluid to flow. Okay? Sa Tagalog, ang viscosity ay ang ating lapot. Kapag mas resistant siya sa pag-agos, ito ay mas malapot. Kapag ikumpara ninyo ang tubig, pag ginanon nyo, dire-diretso, at saka ang isang syrup or honey, pag ginanon nyo, mas mabagal. Gumagalaw pa rin, pero mas mabagal. So, rheology is important, and it is involved in the mixing and flow of materials, packaging into containers, and removal prior to use. The thing about rheology is we need to study it in terms of product formulation. Kailangan nating i-consider ang lapot ng ating formulation, lalo na sa ating mga liquid na formulations katulad ng ating syrups, ointments, at saka ating mga emulsions. Ang ayaw nating mangyari is sa sobrang lapot ng ating ginawa ay hindi na siya lumabas ng bote. Okay? May certain lang tayong lapot na gusto. Pero minsan din, class, ayaw din natin ng sobrang labnaw. A good example kung kailan natin ayaw ng sobrang labnaw is kapag nagawa tayo ng suspensions, gusto natin medyo malapot ng konti para hindi mabilis mag-settle yung ating formulation. Okay? In terms of manufacturing, importante din ang ating viscosity. Kasi, depende sa lapot o labnaw ng isang bagay, ibabagay ninyo yung machine na gagamitin sa pag-manufacture. Take for example, hindi pwede ang regular na mixer, alam niyo yung hand mixer? Yung pangbati ng itlog. At saka KitchenAid. Alam niyo yung KitchenAid? Orbital mixer ang technical term ng KitchenAid. Yung gumaganon. Yung isang malaking ganon na gumaganon. Bowl mixer. Bowl mixer, KitchenAid kasi yung brand. Orbital mixer ang tawag doon. KitchenAid yung brand. Yun yung gamit ng... Magandang brand yun ang gamit ng CATHM. Okay? Pag ginamit mo ang egg mixer sa itlog, okay. Kasi ang itlog malabnaw. Pero pag ginamit mo sa mas malapot na bagay, take for example, bread dough, hindi kaya yon, titigil yon. Kaya sinasabi na binabagay din ng machine sa flow characteristics ng ating product. Okay? So when we say viscosity, it is the resistance of fluid to flow, and it is also defined as the internal friction of a fluid caused by molecular attraction which makes it resist a tendency to flow. So imagine nyo na ang inyong fluid ay dalawang layer na magkapatong. Kapag mas malakas yung attraction ng inyong dalawang fluid, mas makapit siya. Okay? Mas malakas yung attraction eh. So mas makapit siya. Pag mas makapit siya, it requires more force to split or to move the surfaces apart. So it is a measure of an internal friction of the fluid. This becomes apparent when the layer of fluid is made to move in relation to another layer. The greater the friction, the greater is the attraction, and the greater the force is required to cause this movement. This is called our shear. Okay? Pag sinabi natin shear, it is the rate of movement of the liquid sheets. Okay? Yung paggalaw ng ating liquid within itself, it is called your shear. Okay? If you studied physics in high school, you would have siguro na-encounter yung mga different rates of shear, types of shearing rate. Shear. Huh? Shear is the movement of the liquid within itself. So take for example, meron kang baso, pag ginanon ninyo at gumalaw yung laman, shear ang tawag doon. Shear. Okay. In terms of liquids, we can classify different liquids according to viscosity. We have two major classifications. We have our Newtonian and we have our non-Newtonian fluids. When we say Newtonian fluids, these are fluids that behave like water. Yun yung pinaka-simpleng definition. It behaves like water. Pag sinabi nating non-Newtonian fluid, it doesn't behave like water. Okay, mamaya I'll be more specific later. Pero yun yung major na pagkakaiba. Please take note, I am not referring to viscosity. Hindi ko sinabing pag mas malapot ang isang bagay, Newtonian or non-Newtonian siya. Ang sinasabi ko is yung kanyang behavior. Later, I would explain. First, we have our Newtonian system. When we say we have a Newtonian system, it is a fluid in which the viscous stresses arising from its flow at every point is linearly proportional to the local strain rate or the rate of change of its deformation over time. Ang tawag sa flow na ito ay Newtonian flow. Kung ano yung sabihin nito, explain ko sa inyo saglit. So yan ang tubig, umaagos sa tubig. The best example of a Newtonian fluid is water. Okay? So ganito ang pagkakaano niya. Imagine mo na meron kang Okay. Imagine mo ang liquid mo ay isang bloke. Okay? Then imagine nyo na hinati natin yung blocks into infinitesimally small distances. What I mean is, imagine nyo lang na hinati natin. May barahaga kayo. Hindi, seryoso yung tanong na yun. Like, as in right now.
Uwi muna ng doors.
Okay. So kapag sinabi natin Newtonian fluid, when you apply force towards a Newtonian fluid, take for example, dito manggagaling yung force. Okay. Kung gaano kalayo yung layer ng liquid na yon, proportional yung movement niya. What I mean is, aling part dito, pili tayo ng point A, B, saka C. Alin dito ang pinakamalapit? A. Since A ang pinakamalapit, siya ang may pinakamalayong mararating. So pag tumulak tayo ng paganto, siguro ganito kalayo ang aabot ng A. Ang C ang pinakamalayo. So siya ang may pinakamaliit ang travel. So siguro hanggang dito lang. Okay? Then ang B, siguro hanggang dito lang. Okay? That means that the velocity of the movement is proportional to the distance from the point of application of force. Pag mas malayo siya doon sa pinagpaluan, mas maikli ang kanyang mararating. Pag mas malapit siya, mas malayo. So imagine nyo yung deck of cards, ganun. Pag tinulak nyo sa taas, yung taas lang yung gagalaw. Okay? Kasi doon mo tinulak eh. Gagalaw ng konti yung nasa baba, pero paglayo niya, pagbaba niya, hindi na siya masyadong gumagalaw. Ganon ang ating Newtonian fluid. Okay? Okay? So, the difference in velocity, yung pagkakaiba ng speed ng ating different layers is called the velocity gradient or rate of shear. So, it is your dV. dV is difference of velocity. It is the differences in speed of different layers. So, pagpalagay na speed of layer 1 minus speed of layer 2. It's a difference of speed. Velocity, sorry. May direction. Ang unit po ng velocity ay distance over time. So it is in centimeter per second. Centimeters per second kasi speed siya. Okay? Centimeter per second. Kasi siya ay unit of velocity or speed. Okay. Yung force naman na in-apply natin is called our shearing stress. Shearing stress. Force over area ang shearing stress. Okay? It's called our shearing stress. Force over area. Shearing stress. Difference in velocity or velocity gradient is your rate of shear or yung rate of movement. Okay? So, yan po yung diagrammatical and yung itsura. Na pag sinabi natin, you have two planes of liquids and if you apply force to a certain area, yung difference ng paggalaw ng dalawang liquid, yun yung velocity gradient. Then yung force applied to the area, that is your shearing stress. Okay? Nakaka-stress ang force. Okay? Para madaling tandaan. Okay. Shearing stress at saka rate of shear. Ngayon, madiderive na po natin dyan ang viscosity. So, Newton has already studied the flow properties in a quantitative way. Ang observation niya is very simple. Paglakas ng ating force, pagbilis ng ating movement. Paglakas ng ating force as shearing stress increases, the rate of shear also increases. Kalugin niyo yun yung tubig. Pag mabagal yung kinalog, mabagal din yung galaw. Pag binilisan mo, mas mabilis yung galaw. Diba? Sa ngayon, mukhang obvious naman. Pero mamaya, pag nag-non-Newtonian fluids tayo, marirealize nyo, oo nga. Okay. So, for Newtonian fluids, tandaan, as shearing stress increases, the rate of shear also increases. There is a direct relation. Now, ang pinagkaiba lang or ang factor that determines shearing stress, rate of shear, besides from shearing stress, is the internal friction between the two layers. Anong tawag natin dun sa internal force, internal friction between two layers? That is your viscosity. At dyan na-derive ang constant of a liquid, that is your viscosity. Okay? So ito yung pinanggalingan ng formula, dV over dr, change in speed over change in distance, equals force over area. N is your viscosity coefficient. Ito yung final formula na gagamitin natin. Viscosity equals shearing stress over rate of shear. Viscosity equals shearing stress over rate of shear. Please take note that the capital F is not force. Baka malito kayo. It's not force. It is shearing stress. Force natin ay F apostrophe over area.
Ano po yung G, sir?
Rate of shear. Ito ay force. Ito, area. dV over dr, rate of shear or velocity gradient. So, ang nagdidikta sa flow ng Newtonian fluid is viscosity and rate of shear. Okay? Pag mas malakas ang palo mo, mas malayo ang mararating ng fluid nyo. Pag mas malapot yung fluid nyo, mas maikli ang mararating ng fluid nyo. Please take note, in Newtonian fluids, kapag pinlat natin sa ganito, ang tawag dito, class, makakakita kayo nito sa exam, sa major exam, magmamatching type lang kayo, tatandaan nyo lang kung anong itsura ng rheogram. Okay? Tatandaan nyo lang kung anong itsura ng rheogram. Okay? Because each rheogram will describe the property of a liquid. Itong rheogram na to, shearing stress yung nasa baba. Rate of shear yung nasa taas. Ano yung sabi ko kanina? Kapag Newtonian liquid. Kapag mas malakas yung shearing stress, mas malaki yung movement, so mas malaki din ang rate of shear. The relationship between shearing stress and rate of shear is directly proportional. Paglakas ng isa, paglakas din ng kabila. Okay? Maliwanag po ba? Okay? Ang constant dito, class, ay viscosity. Hindi po nagbabago ang viscosity. Hindi po nagbabago ang viscosity in Newtonian systems except kapag ininit ninyo or pinalamig ninyo. Pero hindi natin pinag-uusapan ng temperature. Viscosity does not change for Newtonian systems. Okay? Maliwanag po ba? Okay po? Klaro? Okay. Tandaan, hindi nagbabago ang lapat. Ganito, hindi nagbabago ang lapot ng tubig kapag kinalog mo ng mabilis. Okay, isa lang yung lapot niya. Bumibilis yung kanyang galaw kasi nilalaksan mo yung force applied. Pero yung mismong lapot ng liquid, hindi nag-iiba. Maliwanag po? Okay po? Okay. In terms of other rheograms, ito yung unang rheogram na nakita nyo. Pareho yan. It compares shear rate with shear stress linearly proportional. If we compare shear rate at saka viscosity, viscosity does not change. Constant po ang viscosity. Okay? Ang gamit po nating unit for viscosity is poids. It is defined as the shearing force required to produce a velocity of 1 centimeter per second between two parallel planes of liquid, each 1 centimeter square in area and a distance of 1 centimeter apart. So the standard unit is poids. Hindi poise, ha? Poids. It's French. From Posil. Ang CGS units natin ay dyne second per cm. Dyne seconds cm. Dyne sec centimeter square. Kasi yan ay force over area over velocity. Meron. Kasi mo-multiply niyo yung dyne sec. Sa Newtonian fluids. Hindi nagbabagong viscosity. Okay. Hindi, ngayon class, masyadong malaki ang poids. In terms of distances, or in terms of a unit, poids is good kasi siya ay naka-centimeter, naka-CGS. Pero in practical use, 1 poids is extremely large. Okay? What we use is centipoise. Okay, 1 centipoise is 0.01 poids. 1 poids is 100 centipoise. 1 centipoise is 0.01 poids. Okay. It is important kasi wala namang liquid masyado na 1 po. Masyado nang malapot yon. Okay. Okay. Ito po yung explanation ng unit natin kanina. So, viscosity equals force over area divided by velocity. So, ito yung ating force over area. Then, ito ang ating difference in velocity over difference in time. Difference in velocity over difference in length. Magkakancel lang po. Yan. Pinapakita ko lang naman. Hindi nyo naman kailangan tahakin yan. At kung pasisimplihin nyo pa, you could still simplify it, pero not necessarily. It simplifies to grams centimeter per second. Pero ito po, okay na po. Dahil sexy m squared. Okay? We have other units involved. The inverse of viscosity is fluidity. Kung ang viscosity ay ganong kalapot ang ating fluid, ang ating fluidity ay gano'n siya kalabnaw. It is the inverse property of our viscosity. Fluidity. Fluidity equals 1 over viscosity. Fluidity equals 1 over viscosity. And we have our kinematic viscosity. Kinematic viscosity is a more applied form of viscosity. It is obtained by dividing viscosity over our specific gravity. Okay? So kinematic viscosity is viscosity over specific gravity. Okay? Ang unit po nito ay Stokes at saka centi-Stokes. So, pag sinabing Stokes, that is poids over spec grav. Kapag centi-Stokes, centi-poids over spec grav. Spec grav has no unit. Now, ang unit ng kinematic viscosity, this is used more in mechanical engineering. And one thing with kinematic viscosity is, since it takes into consideration this specific gravity, it is related with temperature. Okay? So makikita nyo, pag bumili kayo ng motor oil, meron siyang viscosity kapag malamig yung makina at kapag malapot yung makina. Kapag mainit yung makina at kapag malamig yung makina. So it has viscosity ranges between different sets of temperatures. And lastly, we have our relative viscosity. Our relative viscosity is pagkumpara lang ng viscosity with another viscosity. So it is ganito. Viscosity 1 over viscosity 2 equals relative viscosity. Usually, it's the viscosity of water. Init. May sagot na. Okay. Hindi, may mga problems yan nasa dulo. Okay. So, tapos na tayo sa Newtonian fluids. Okay. Makapagtanong muna. Ikaw nga. Okay. Nagbabago ba ang viscosity ng Newtonian fluids?
No.
Okay, sunod. Ikaw, sunod. Anong relationship ng shearing stress at saka rate of shear in Newtonian systems? Directly proportional. Yon ang kailangan yung tandaan kasi yon ang properties ng Newtonian. Dito sa non-Newtonian, mag-iiba-iba. So, non-Newtonian systems are those systems or fluids that does not fit the Newtonian model. Okay? If it doesn't behave like a Newtonian fluid, it's non-Newtonian, obviously. Pero maraming different types. Okay? So first, we have our plastic viscosity or plastic flow. Okay? Have you heard the term pyroclastic flow? That is for volcanoes. Specifically sa volcanoes, ano? Lava. Okay, anong kinalaman nun? For plastic liquids or plastic fluids, ito yung mga fluid na hindi kusang nagalaw. Okay? It needs a certain amount of force applied to it na kapag na-apply na yung force na yon, saka lang siya gagalaw. Best example, ketchup sa bote. Di ba pag ginanon yung ketchup sa bote, hindi siya mag-flow-flow? Example ka. Pero, the moment you apply force, mag-flow-flow siya. Okay? Pag mahina yung pagkakataktak mo, hindi siya gagalaw. Kailangan sufficient yung taktak mo para gumalaw siya. That taktak, which is sufficient, is called your yield value. The yield value is the minimum amount of force required to bring about flow. The yield value is the minimum amount of shear or force to bring about flow. Any force below the yield value will not cause any movement. Parang, pag ginanon mo lang, gumalaw ng konti pero hindi umagos yung ketchup. Kulang yung iyong force apply. Pero pag ginanon mo at gumalaw na, na-surpass mo na ang kanyang yield value. Pag nilagyan mo ng tubig ang ketchup, it starts to behave like a Newtonian fluid.
Kaya paano pag sinapsop yung ketchup?
Ganun din. Hindi naman nagbabagong fluid. Okay? So, the radiogram of our plastic flow looks like this. Okay? Hindi linearly proportional ang rate of shear sa shearing stress. Pag mababa ang shearing stress, may point na hindi siya nagalaw. Pero pag na-surpass ninyo yung ating yield value, it starts to behave like a Newtonian fluid. Okay? Pag nalampasan nyo yung shearing stress, pag nalampasan nyo yung yield value, saka lang siya magkakameron ng proportional na rate of shear. Tandaan, ang non-Newtonian fluid na plastic, siya lang ang may yield value. Other types of non-Newtonian fluids do not have a yield value. Another alternative to this is called your Bingham bodies. Alternative for plastic liquids, plastic flow. Okay. Gusto ba yung pamalo?
Ano ba yun?
Rate of shear.
Okay? So these are the rheograms for our plastic fluids. Kailangan ng yield value bago siya magkameron ng proportionality with the rate of shear. Okay? Ito ang formula ng plastic viscosity. Ipagmaminus nyo lang po ang shearing stress minus yield value over rate of shear. Yung small letter f, yun ang ating yield value. Wala nang pamalo. Little match girl. Okay? Okay? So we have our plastic fluids. Anong key example ng plastic fluids? Ketchup. Okay? Yun yung i-link ninyo sa non-Newtonian fluids. Kasi yun ang usual na tanong. Paint is an example of which type of non-Newtonian fluid. Ganon ang tanong. Okay? Next, we have our pseudoplastic or our pseudoplastic flow. For our pseudoplastic flow, this type of fluid will display a decreasing viscosity with an increasing shear rate. Kanina, anong sabi ko tungkol sa viscosity ng Newtonian fluid? It does not change. Dito, nagbabago. Pagtaas ng rate of shear, pagbaba ng viscosity. Siya ay lumalabnaw habang hinahalo. Habang hinahalo mo, siya ay lumalabnaw. Nakita nyo nagang magpintura ang magpipintura. Di ba siya ay halo ng halo? Bakit siya halo ng halo? Kasi malabnaw pag hinahalo. Pero kapag nilagay na sa pader ang brush at gumanon, lumalapot. Kaya siya dumidikit. So paints are the best example for pseudoplastic flow. Siya ay lumalapot habang hinahalo. The more shear is applied, the less the viscosity of your liquid. Okay po? Okay. Ganito ang itsura ng rheogram. Ito ang tingnan nyo. Ito importante. Habang tumataas ang rate of shear, bumababa ang viscosity. Pseudoplastic. Nakakalito yun ha? Pseudoplastic at saka plastic. Plastic may yield value. Pseudoplastic, lumalabnaw. Another term for pseudoplastic is shear thinning. Shear thinning, lumalabnaw eh. Kaya shear thinning behavior. It shows shear thinning behavior.
Shear.
Next, ang sunod, dilatan. Ito ay pinagkabaliktad ng ating pseudoplastic. Kung ang ating pseudoplastic lumalabnaw habang hinahalo, ito ay lumalapot habang hinahalo. It has shear thickening behavior. Ang example nito ay medyo rare ang examples nito. Oobleck. Bumili kayo ng cornstarch, lagyan niya ng tubig. Yung slurry. Ang slurry, malabnaw pang slurry eh. Dapat sobrang concentrated niya. Cornstarch in water, pero madaming cornstarch. Yon ay kapag dinutdot mo ng malakas, tumitigas. Pero pag mabagal mong dinutdot, lumalabnaw. Pag ginanon mo na mabilis, mababali ang daliri mo. Kasi as more shear is applied, viscosity also increases. Another example of this, quicksand. Quicksand. Kapag mabagal ka naglakad sa quicksand, lulubog ka. Pero kapag mabilis kang lumakad sa quicksand, dire-diretso ka lang. The moment ka lang nalulubog sa quicksand ay pag tumigil ka. Another example of this is grains. Please take note, hindi lang tubig or liquid ang nag-exist nito. Grains like rice can exhibit this type of fluid movement. Okay? So dilatancy is also called your shear thickening behavior. Ang kanyang rheogram ay baliktad. Kapag tumataas ang rate of shear, tumataas din ang viscosity. It comes to a point na it behaves like a solid sa sobrang taas ng viscosity niya. Hindi, kung alam mo naman kasi yung relationship between the two, you can tell them apart. Kahit hindi nyo alam yung itsura, pero alam yung relationship ng X at Y, you can tell anong type of fluid siya. Okay. The next two is related with time. Okay? Itong sunod na dalawa is related with time. So thixotropy can be defined as the isothermal and comparatively slow recovery on standing of a material of consistency lost through shearing. Thixotropy can only be applied to shear thinning systems, and it displays a decrease in viscosity over time at a constant shear rate. Then it displays a reversible isothermal sol-gel formation. Makinig na lang kayo sa akin para madali niyong maintindihan. Okay, ganito siya. Meron akong liquid. Hinalo ko. Okay, habang hinahalo ko, lumalapot. Okay? Pag tumigil, baliktad. Habang hinahalo ko, lumalabnaw. Habang hinahalo, lumalabnaw. Pag tumigil ako, malabnaw pa rin. Pero, pag pinabayaan ko, babalik siya sa kanyang original na viscosity. Yon ang thixotropy. Kaya siya ay merong reversible sol-gel formation. Lumalabnaw, then pag pinabayaan mo, lalapot ulit. Ang pinagkaiba niya sa pseudoplastic, this one stays. It stays non-viscous for a period of time. Then, unti-unti siyang babalik sa kanyang original na viscosity. Hindi katulad ng pseudoplastic. Pag tinigil mo yung paghalo, babalik agad siya sa kanyang initial viscosity. Ito naman po, rheopexy ay kabaliktaran ng ating thixotropy. Ito, habang hinahalo, lumalapot. Then, pag tumigil ka sa paghalo, bumabalik sa original na viscosity. Okay? I-summarize natin ang natutunan ninyo ngayong araw na ito. Una, kapag Newtonian, siya ay no change, pwedeng water, no change in viscosity, constant of viscosity, as shearing stress goes up, rate of shear also increases. There is a direct proportionality. Kapag plastic, so lagay natin water ang example. Kapag plastic, there is a yield value. Lang naman ang kailangan yung tandaan nyo sa plastic. Ketchup. Kapag pseudoplastic, viscosity decreases with increased rate of shear. Lumalabnaw. Pag hinahalo. Pain. Kapag dilatant, dito, tumataas ang viscosity. Kapag tumataas ang shearing stress. Lumalapot. Oobleck. Cornstarch. Sorry. Then you have your rheopexy and you have your, sulat na natin para magkumpleto. Wala na kasi space. Ano? Thixotropy. Tsaka rheopexy. Ang ating thixotropy, it is pseudoplastic. Slow reversal of viscosity. Ito naman, dilatant with slow reversal. Meaning, bumabalik sa kanyang original na viscosity. Try ko. Ba, naipaskill ko ng mga pangalan ng bago kong pasa sa Lyceum. Bago next week, ipopost ulit. Ba, 2 beses na labas. Alin ang? Peach drop.
Yung substance po na sobrang lapot na parang ilang
Hindi siya ay ano, malapot lang talaga.
pero hindi po siya under ng
Hindi siya under ng non-Newtonian kasi kusa siyang nagalaw eh. Kasi kung sobrang lapot lang niya talaga, pero kung siya ay plastic, hindi dapat siya gagalaw. Yun yung ano, parang experiment na parang coal tar na pinapatulo na sobrang lapot niya hanggang parang more than 100 years hindi pa natulo. Coal tar. Okay. Okay, let's wrap up the first lecture. We have different we have 2 lectures today. We have our different types of viscometers. We have our single point and we have our multi-point. Ang pinagkaiba lang po nito is if they can operate at different rates of shear. Okay? So yung mga crude or yung mga lumang devices, ito yung ating usual na single point. Then yung mga mas advanced na viscometers, ang ating multi-point. So for our single point, ang example po niyan is our Ostwald and capillary viscometers. It only operates on a single rate of shear. And for multi-point viscometers, it operates on a variety of rates of shear. Okay, so first we have our capillary viscometer. An example of a capillary viscometer is the Ostwald viscometer. Ito ang itsura ng Ostwald viscometer. Hindi na ako bumili ng Ostwald viscometer kasi meron naman tayong Brookfield. It's only for historical use. No one uses it anymore. Mas magandang Brookfield kasi standardized and calibratable. Okay, ito ang formula ng viscosity kapag Brookfield, kopyahin, at yan yung lalabas. Viscosity 1 is usually your, kahit ano. Ang paggamit ng Brookfield, you have two liquids. Yung una, standard, usually tubig. Yung pangalawa, yung inyong sample. Ang kukunin nyo is yung specific gravity ng liquid at saka yung time it takes for it to cross the viscometer. So, kita nyo to, itong part na to. Papatakay ng tubig. Bago, pag lumampas dito sa point na to, oorasan nyo. Pag lumampas dito, oorasan nyo ulit. So, yun yung time. Pagkatapos nun, yung sample nyo naman, oorasan nyo ulit. Alam naman natin ang specific gravity ng tubig. Alam din naman natin ang specific viscosity ng tubig. So, with that, you can have this formula. Okay. Papasimplihin ko na para hindi kayo mahirapan. Okay, N1 equals P1T1 over P2T2 times N2, in which N1 is sample, N2 is standard. Lahat ng 1, sample. Lahat ng 2, standard. Maliwanag po ba? Okay. Another example of a single point viscometer is our falling sphere viscometer. Ito, imagine nyo na lang na meron kayong tubo na may liquid bago may bolang bakal. Ang sinusukat dito ay falling time ng bola. It has the same principle of it has a slightly different principle than our Ostwald kasi ang pinapapatak sa Ostwald yung liquid. Dito ang pinapapatak bola. Ganito yung tsura niya. Pupunuin nyo yung lalagyan ng inyong sample liquid. Babaliktarin nyo para umangat yung bola. Bago pag pinagbaliktad ninyo, babagsak yung bola. Ngayon, ang kukunin nyo lang ay time. Pag lumampas yung bola sa unang linya, at dun sa pangalawang linya, susukatin nyo lamang. So, viscosity equals time. Kita nyo yung formula sa taas. Sasabihin ko kung sabihin nun. Viscosity equals time times the difference of the specific gravity of the ball and the liquid. So, mas mataas ang specific gravity lagi ng bola. Nalubog eh. Then yung letter B, that is instrument standard. Meaning, kasama siya ng equipment. Kunin, tanggapin. T is time for the ball to fall. SB is specific gravity of the ball. SF, specific gravity of the fluid. B is an instrument standard, meaning it is always provided. Okay? And finally, we have our multi-cup and bob. Okay? So these are multi-point cup and bob viscometers. Meron kayong cup, meron kayong bob. Meron kayong spindle. Yun yung naikot. Then yung bob, yung cup, yun yung lalagyan ninyo. You have two types. You have your coat and your swirl type. For coat type, you have your rotating cup, yung mismong lalagyan ng liquid ang naikot, then stationary yung nilulubog. Kapag swirl type, stationary cup, pwedeng beaker lang, then rotating bob. Mas common tong swirl type. Brookfield, ang pinaka-famous sa kanila. Yun ang gamit ng engineering. At yun din ang gamit natin. Okay? My back hurts.
Wait, tabi mo pa.
Ang 5 minutes. Gusto ko nang mag-inom. Niintay na ako ng kainuman ko sa baba.
Wrap up na.
Hindi na ako nagpapa-solve. Okay. So this is another part of our rheology. It's still under rheology, but it focuses more on the interactions of liquids between other materials. Okay? So there are several types of interfaces, and these are usually divided into liquid interfaces and solid interfaces. Kapag sinabi nating interface, ito ang pagitan ng phase. Kaya interface. Hindi, tunay. Meron tayong solid liquid, solid gas. Liquid solid, liquid gas. Okay? So, ang gamit ng interfacial phenomena sa pharmacy is the following. Absorption of drugs to adjuncts, penetration of molecules to biological membranes. The most important or the most practical for you, it is emulsion, formulation, and stability. Okay? So, yan yung last ninyong experiment or last ninyong preparation sa DDS. It is known to be the most challenging. Primarily kasi marami kayong masasayang na ingredients. Pag nasa paghalo ang technique nun. Okay? Pag bulok kang maghalo, hindi mabubuo yon.
Bulok sa paghalo.
Malalaman mo pag hinalo mo. Pag hindi mo nabuo, bulok ka. Nasa tamang pagganon yun. Hindi pwedeng sobrang bagal, hindi pwedeng sobrang bilis, hindi pwedeng baliktarin, hindi pwedeng dikdikin. So, isang ganon lang siya. Yun ang sukat ng magaling mag-compound, ang paggawa ng mineral oil emulsion. Okay, so we have different types of interfaces. Basta pagitan ng dalawang phase, ang tawag natin ay interface. So we have solid-solid. This is present in powders. We have our solid in liquids, present in suspensions. Solid and gas, present in foams. Liquid-liquid, found in emulsions. Alam niyo na ba ang mga emulsion? Siguro naman alam niyo na, no? An emulsion is a two-phase system in which two liquids are interdispersed in one another, in which one liquid is immiscible in another. We have our liquid gas, which is a foam, and we have our gas-gas. Wala pong boundary. Ngayon, ang pinagkaiba po ng interface sa surface, surface is a customary term used when referring to either a gas-solid or a gas-liquid interface. Every surface is an interface, but not every interface is a surface. Ang interface lang na surface ay yung gas ang involved.
Every surface but not every interface
Is a surface. Lahat ng surface, interface. Pero hindi lahat ng interface, surface. Ang surface, yung may gas na kapartner. So gas, solid gas at saka liquid gas. Kapag liquid-liquid, interface lang yan. Okay. We're going to focus on liquid interfaces. So, in a liquid state, cohesive forces adjacent to molecules are well developed. Familiar naman kayo sa intermolecular forces. And dito sa liquid phase, there is an equal amount of attraction between molecules kapag nasa bulk solution kayo. Okay? So itong liquid na ito or itong molecule na ito, ang attraction or ang attractive force between other molecules are the same. Okay? Naintindihan? Okay. Okay, imagine nyo na lang, ito, bola. Ito, look, ball. Look, ball. Okay? This ball and this ball are attracted with each other. Okay? And this ball is surrounded with other balls with equal attractions. Gagalaw ba siya? Hindi siya gagalaw kasi binabalanse siya ng forces na nakapaligid sa kanya. Kaya yung molecule sa loob ng bulk solution ay hindi gumagalaw because it is held together by attractive forces around it. Naintindihan? Okay. Tingin dito sa taas. Okay. May seal formation ba? Hindi, actually, dito yung may seal formation. Itong nasa ibabaw, it has balls around it. Sa baba. Pero, meron bang ball sa taas? Wala. Meaning, walang humahatak doon sa taas. Ang nangyayari, class, pag walang humahatak ditong ball sa taas, hindi equal yung hatak sa molecule na to. Since wala yung nasa taas at may humihila sa baba, saan papunta ang molecule na to? Pababa. So this is our surface tension. Surface tension is the inward pull on the molecules on the surface towards the bulk of solution kasi wala nang hihila sa molecules na yon sa taas kasi hangin na ang kasunod. Surface tension is the inward pull of the molecules on the surface towards the bulk of the solution. Okay? So yun po ang ating surface tension. There is an inward pull on the surface of the molecules. What happens is that bumibilog siya. Okay? It would form the area with the lowest amount of tension, which is usually a sphere. Kaya lagi siyang pabilog. Kaya ang luha, kapag pumapatak, ay bilog. Ang ating ulan, pag pumapatak, bilog. Pag nagtapon ka ng tubig sa lamesa anong shape ang nabubuo? Malamang bilog din. Kaya siya bilog ay dahil ng surface tension. It is responsible for the spheroidal formation of drops. Okay? So, ang surface tension, mathematically, it is tension. So, if you recall your high school physics, tension is a force applied towards length. So, ang formula ng surface tension ay force over length. Force over length. Ang unit na gamit ay dynes, which is a unit of force, over centimeters, which is a unit of length. Okay? Ating surface tension. Ang full formula ng surface tension, class, is force over twice the length. Bakit twice the length? May surface sa ibabaw at may surface sa ilalim. Kaya doble yung length. Yun lang po yan. Two times length. Hindi length times length, ha? Hindi length squared. Area yon. 2L. 2 times L. Hindi L times L, ha? May nagkakamali doon. Natutuwa, 2L. L squared. Okay. Kasi dalawa ang surface tension sa surface ng film. Okay? Next, we have our surface free energy. When we say surface free energy, it is the amount of energy or work required to increase the size of the free surface. Okay? Tingnan nyo re. Di ba, ang ating surface ay pabilog? Meaning, it has excess energy. Kasi walang humahatak sa ibabaw eh. So, nagtitipid siya ng energy. Kung gusto mong palaparin yung bilog, kailangan mong dalhin ang molecule from the middle to the surface. Pag ginawa mo yon, lalapad yung surface. At ang energy na yon ay surface free energy. Ayaw pa ga? Hindi na. Ayaw na. So, uwi na. Oo nga, uwi na kayo. Uwi na. Kita-kita na lang tayo next week. Oo nga. Mukha bang sarcastic to? Oo nga. Hindi. Hindi nyo pa nakikitang galit. Hindi nyo pa nakikitang galit. Kaya umuwi na at yung mga tawid dagat pa ay umuwi na at tutuloy na lang natin next meeting.
Mag-stand up ka na nga. Mag-stand up na. Up na guys. Uy, lagi legit. Willing pa ako sa luto guys.
Wait! Ang plastic ng puta.
Willing pa na siya matuto.
Saan ko kaya isi-zero? May quiz. Tapos na ang attendance kanina ba? Happy holiday.